The day's here. Been sitting on this 63 Impala for 3 years while I've been building the K-Train garage. Now, I'm gonna bring the 63 back home to the garage, and we're gonna get into electric conversion. There's a whole bunch of stuff I want to do. I've been collecting parts. Parts includes Corvette C4 front suspension, a whole bunch of trim, a bunch of updated parts, a couple pieces of body. I'm really excited about converting this 63 to electric drive. So that's what we're going to do. Right now, the 63 has a Chevrolet 283 V8. It has a 4-barrel Edelbrock carb on there. The distributor, I'm not getting spark on any of the spark plugs. There's power to the distributor, and I replaced the coil before I put this in storage. So I think maybe it's dirty under the cap, or maybe the gears for timing jumped. But I should be able to adjust it so I can drive this to the garage. So let's figure it out. I got a new cap and rotor and brush. Hopefully it's just one of those that's the problem. And then if it runs, then we can get it to the garage. I replaced the coil and the magnetic pickup before. So I'm going to put this new coil in the new cap and just use its new brush, and everything should be brand new at that point. This might have been why. I was prepping to move the coil from the old cap to the new cap. This grounding strap is what brings in the ground from here. This was all rusted. There was no clean metal. You can see this is where it was touching. So I'm going to make sure I clean these up, and that might have been the contactor problem. Turns out I was mostly right. There was corrosion where there was contact between the grounding plate and the ground strap for the coil. The HEI and EFI specs say positive and negative leads of the coil should be between 300 and 1300 ohms. And there's almost no measurable resistance. So because this wasn't grounded, high voltage input on the HEI without grounding wore out the coil. But I had kept the old coil and the old ignition control. So we pulled the distributor and actually put the old ignition control on first, still the same thing. And I measured the resistance between the old and the new ignition coils. The old ignition coil is actually pretty low, which indicates that it's worn out as well. So now it starts up. a new day. Wasn't able to drive this out of here. There's no transmission fluid. I think that it leaked slowly, and it might only take like 2 quarts to be able to engage the power glide so I can drive this to the garage. I'm hoping it's that simple. Let's give it a try. I put over 2 quarts in. I don't want to get all exhaust fumed out in the unit. So once it starts up and it calms down, try to put it in gear. If it does, I'm gonna get it out of the unit and we'll check the level. as you saw, drove under its own power. Only took about a gallon of ATF. But at the rate it was leaking, should be able to get it home like this. So I'm gonna get the tools and stuff that I brought out of the cop car and just throw it in the storage unit so I can get this home. Okay. We're in pretty good shape. I got all the tools and the parts that was in the storage unit, and this thing drives okay. I let it idle for a while. I think we're good to get to the garage. I'm just gonna have to get some gas along the way. So let's hit it. What's up, guys? K-Train Garage. This is our 1963 Impala that we're going to convert to electric drive, and then it'll become the Ompala. This is a 1963 two-door hardtop. It has a 283 V8 in it and a Power Glide transmission. It has a wrapped frame, a wrapped cruciform frame. At one point this car had hydraulics. For a long time I was considering if I wanted to keep the wrapped frame. As you're going to see, we're gonna have to do a new frame to do the electric drive the way I want. It has airbags for adjustable air ride suspension. It's been a lot of fun. But the time has come to really get into converting this to electric drive. That means figuring out a bunch of drivetrain and frame components, and then fitting the body to the changed frame, and then getting the body finished up and painted. I'm going to show you as much detail as I can about this process. I think that for a lot of people, OEM components is a good way to convert to electric drive and makes it easy to be serviceable if something happens to DC to DC converter, inverter, any of the major components. I have a lot of plans and there's a lot of stuff to still figure out. But I'm really excited and I welcome you to the Electric Ompala project.